Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back, and I'm going to be carrying on working today in this envelope cover. I'm going to start collaging it, but first I have to apologise for the awful video that I made creating this thing. It was way too long. When I edited it, I had to take out quite a lot, and even then it was much longer than I wanted it to be. It was very rambling. You can see I was struggling. If you got to the end of the video, well done. I think if I'd been watching it, I'd have either fallen asleep or turned it off, quite frankly. So if you did actually watch it to the end, thank you. But you might be better off watching Nancy's and or Amy's, and then coming back and seeing what I do with mine, because the the shambles of creating this was just an embarrassment, quite frankly. But anyway, we'll carry on because I want to make it, and I really like it now it's done. I have gone ahead and inked. I followed Nancy's video on this and inked around all my edges. I've decided to use forest moss just because it's a colour I haven't used very much, and it was nice and juicy, and I thought it would be quite a good colour for the autumn. Not entirely sure that was a good choice. So I have been using a bit of walnut stain as well, just to kind of tone it down a bit. But I think once I've covered it, I don't think it'll notice that much anyway, so I think it'll be okay. But if I need to, I'll add some walnut stain as I go. So I'll just show you how it's ended up in case you kind of zoned out halfway through, which I wouldn't blame you for one bit. So I've ended up, and what I've done is I've cut out pieces of file folder for the tags and pocket and journal cards to pop into the pockets. So I've got a base for doing those when we get to it. So, and you can see where the pockets are. So there's a pocket here. There's a pocket here. I've already made and not quite finished the journal card, but I had made a journal card to go in here, which is drying under my mat. So I'll show you that in a minute, and that's kind of going to be the main feature image of the journal. Then up here, I've actually got a tag from the kit that I'm going to be using, which I shall show you in a moment, by Tracy Fox. This is one of her tags, so that's going to go in there. Just fitted nicely. I had to cut it down a little bit, but I have where I can, I've put in some of the tags from the kit. So that's page 1. And this only goes down to here. This journal card. Then we open it up, and I've got this one here in this envelope pocket. I've got one here which keeps sliding in, because when I finish it I'm going to put a tab on it to pull it out, but I keep losing it in the pocket. This one, it kind of exactly to size, but it is there. I thought I'd pulled it out and then it slid back in again. I didn't want it out too far because it's at the side, but so there's one here. Then I've got a couple of the tags from the kit in this pocket. Well, actually, this one is from Tracy's kit. This one is from another kit by autumnal, because I'm mixing the kits as I often do. Certainly on the collaging and the decorating. Not so much in the journal, because I'm keeping that journal a bit simpler. So not mixing the kits for that one. But these are two different size tags, and I thought it'd be quite good to have two in there, as it's quite a big space. Then I've got another card here, journal card, to go in there. And then on the back, there's one here and one here. So these are all the pockets, so there's quite a number. I won't count them up. But you can see that I've got plenty of pockets to fill. And we're going to start collaging it today, but I thought I'd just show you this kit by Tracy Fox so you can see see what I'm using. I've had this kit probably for about a year or so. I saw it, I think, last autumn. Really liked it, but I didn't have time to do an autumn journal last year, so I've hung on to it. And it's such a big kit, I've actually divided it into 2 halves, and I'm only going to use half of it. So this is the half that we're going to be using for this journal. so I'll just show you, and I'll explain why I've split it as I go along. But this one, it's got the forest animals on it, which I really like, and I have backed it with some of the other pages from the kit, but I won't show you the backings because I'm going to show you those separately, because there was actually enough to do 2 journal fronts and back them all with different pages, still from the same kit. So it's huge. So that's that one. There's the deer. There's the fairy. There are a few fairies, which of course we've just been doing fairies, but this is very different. I think they're beautiful, the fairies in this kit. And there's another fairy. They're more like a silhouette, or just like they've been caught in the dying sun, the rays of the dying sun, and they're cast into silhouette. I think they're so beautiful, these pages. That's what took my eye, just how beautiful the images are. And there's that little squirrel again on the other side. Then we have an owl. More of the stag, but more in detail this time, not a silhouette. Silhouette of another fairy, like a younger looking fairy, that one. Then we have this one, it's really sweet, and that is pretty much it for the, so they're the pages I'm going to be using in the journal. Then the other set, excuse me, this is the other half to some extent, because so I took the backing papers and I've backed the ones that you've seen. These are the ones I've chosen to back this one with, and these are the ones that are left. So these ones are more people based, so there's people in all of these and houses, or so you'll see what I mean. So it's quite a different vibe, and I wasn't sure whether to mix them or not, but I thought because it's so big, I actually felt there was enough here to do another journal another time. So I mean, I may or may not. Oh, I just thought I'd mention as well, I have actually printed it, I don't know if you can see, onto this paper. I bought it from Amazon. It calls it coffee dyed paper, so it's got a tint to it, like a coffee dyed look to it. I think it's about 120 GSM, so it's reasonably thick, and that's what I used to print onto. I thought it just gave it a little bit more of a warmer tone, or I don't think it actually made an awful lot of difference, to be honest. So there's that one, and then a lot of them have somebody walking into the distance or people in it, so gorgeous colours. And there's this lovely lady. So I do feel like she could be on the front cover of another journal. She's lovely. And then there's this man with his interesting hat. A little girl. These have got a slightly different feel to them, these papers, I think. Another beautiful lady. Then we've got somebody looking wistfully across the mist at her house, or a house. And you could really weave a story around these people, I think. I'm not one of those people who can do that, but you could. And then I think these are 2 ladies. Another one. All from behind, all staring into the distance, into a misty, moisty morning. They all look quite misty. Some of the across the looks like a lake or something. There's another one of the ladies. This one's just more general autumnal. I think we're going into the backing papers now. I think these are the backing papers that I'm going to use for this one. So just to give a quick flick through, so you just get the feel. They've just got a really lovely, soft, lyrical feel to them, these papers. Absolutely beautiful. And that one. And that one. So that's those. So this is kind of journal number 2 in a way. I think I might put her on the front. So I'm going to put these aside. Right, so let's get started on, let's get moving these papers out of the way as well. I just want to paperclip these back together. So it's going to be there's going to be a single signature, relatively small journal, this one, because I think all the work is going to go on the cover. I will make a few pockets, put a few things in, but it's going to be a lot less detailed than my usual ones, I think. She says this now. Let's hope that's the case. Oh, I haven't shown you some of the ephemera that comes with it. There's a lot of ephemera as well as all those papers. I have started cutting up the tags, as you can probably tell from that I'm trying to put into some of the pockets. But there are tags, lots of tags. And very small ones. Oh gosh, I keep turning it upside down the wrong way. What am I doing? Right. More tags, scarecrows, and yet more. These are a lot of small ones. There are postcards. So I will be using some of these as, for the journal cards. And these little pieces that I can use to decorate. Lovely images. It looks like Mrs. Diggywinkle. Oops. Yep. And these. So loads and loads of things to use. And on top of that, just got to put these back in my folder. So not just these. I mean, I told you this kit was massive. It's absolutely huge. You can probably tell. So there's those, and no, I don't want to put it there. I want to put it over here. Fussy cuts, which I have cut them all out on my Cricut. There's a whole load of all sorts of things. There's leaves, there's flowers, there's gorgeous fairies. I have actually got them all doubled up here because I printed them all out before I got my Cricut, and this is the original size. So because I printed them out, I thought I'd better cut them out anyway because they were all printed. But I also thought some of them, the images were a little large. So what I've done, so there's another fairy there. So what I did, don't know if that's one of the original. I printed them again, or printed and cut them on my Cricut, because the Cricut always cuts things a bit smaller, and I made them a little bit smaller still, and I reversed them. So I've now got 2 images for each, one facing that way. It's the same one, but I've reversed her, or mirrored her, and reduced her a bit. So I've got the option of a smaller image, and I've done that with all of them. And I think it just gives me a few more options. So, see if I can find the one that goes with this one. Yes, there we go. The colour's not come out quite as bright on the ones on the Cricut. I'm not quite sure why. So we've got the original ones printed, and this one looks a little bit more faded. I'm not quite sure why that's happened, but that's what I did. But there are loads, even if you don't do that. There are plenty of images to use. Got birds, got nuts. So this bird, I made quite a difference between the two. It's the original bird and the second bird that I cut on the cricket. And there is quite a I don't know why, whether there's something about these settings on the cricket that make the colour a little bit less vibrant. I'm not sure. Oh well, I hadn't even realised that. Okay, let's put these all back. They will feature in due course. I think it's going to be quite fun to use these to decorate the cover and the tags. Right, so let's go back to our journal cover. And I felt I needed to do a bit of preparation work just to get at least the first page started, so that it takes me a while to get into my groove of this sort of thing. You may have noticed that when I was making the thing in the first place. So I've got a few things kind of prepared. And what I thought it's always a struggle. I always find it's a struggle to line these sort of envelope pockets. But Nancy showed a way of doing it that I thought, well, that's kind of obvious, but why didn't I think of that? And it really isn't difficult. It's just that she doesn't glue it all down. So what she does, which I'm going to do, I've cut this piece to size. I'm going to pop this in here. And all she does is glue the end, because once it's glued there, it's going to be fine. So I'm going to, don't know whether to put the glue in. Maybe I'll wait until I put it in the pocket, because that's what she does. She puts it in. Maybe I can, now it's in, I'll put a bit of glue along the edge. Right. And now I'll just ease it in to the edge of the pocket. And press it down. And hopefully that should hold it nicely in place. That's the theory. It certainly works for her, so I'm hoping it's going to work for me too. That's in there nicely, and I just think it makes quite a nice insert. This piece of paper, I've got a whole load of scraps from different kits that I've used in the past. This is from a kit by Janie B Journals called La Pêche. Had that for a while. I think I need to just trim it a little. It hasn't quite gone in completely at the edge there. Typical. Couldn't be perfect, could it? Couldn't just slide into the right spot all the way down. Right, I'm going to try and ink that up a little bit with my walnut stain. Alright, so that's gone in, and I've got a piece, so I've got this kit, which I did buy as well. This is a new kit, and it's called Autumn Florals, because I wanted to use that for some of this collaging, and it's by Digital Creations Co. NZ. I will link all the kits that I mention below. So I cut this out, and I'm hoping it'll go on nicely. Let's put my other cuts out the way. Put scissors over here, and let's just start gluing and see how we go. I have inked around this piece as well, I think, just to make sure. let's just, oops, let's see if I can get this on where I want it and not stick it to the glue book. I have done a thumb notch in some of these pockets, so I meant to make sure I knew where they were, and I'll probably have to redo those. Is that going to go along there? Yes, it is. Okay, good, good, good. I really like that on there. I'll take this journal card out before it gets in the way. So the next piece I want to put in, or on, I've got this piece to go here. This is from the Tracy Fox kit, and I want it to just tuck into this pocket just a little bit. I made it still, I thought I'd made it to size, but I think it will just go there. Yeah. I just want to tuck it in just enough. To hide the edge of that pocket. That's it. Okay. Let's wipe my hands. Make sure I've got these papers nice and flat. And then to go on the pocket, this is actually from my Medieval Mirage Moroccan kit. But I just thought the colours went beautifully, so why not? It's nice to be able to reuse things that, from a different journal and have them still work. So that's going to go on there. Okay, where'd that scraper go? Okay, and I need something along here and something down here. So I pulled out a couple of bits that I'm not entirely sure whether they're the right things to use, but I've got this piece. Thinking that might look quite good there, and there's a bit of script on this paper. Maybe I'll just take it to there, perhaps. No. I think I will put that whole thing on. I wasn't sure. I think I'm going to make it a little... Oh no, I don't want to have it quite so low because it's blocking the pocket. So I think what I need to do... Yeah, I do need to take a bit of that off. I made it a bit big. So I'm just going to take half of it. Okay, so that's going to go on there. That's it. I don't want to block this pocket any more than absolutely necessary. Just pull that on. Just got that sticking out a little bit further than I intended. That's better. Okay. I can always use this to fill a spot somewhere else. So for this strip down here, I do have a couple of choices. I've got this piece. This is one of my favourite, all-time favourite pieces of paper from Autumn Wonder. Well, it was called Autumn Wonder when I bought it, by Junk Journal Studio. Don't know what she called, whether she calls it. I have a feeling she renamed it. Calls it something different now. So there's that piece, which I do love. Well, there was this piece which was just torn off. It's from the same kit as this. It's from the same piece of paper as this piece. No, I like this one, I think. Let's tear that off the top. Oop. Tearing the wrong bit. No, 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 no. Where did my double go? There it is, it rolled away. Right, let's give this a bit more, get a bit of inking with the walnut stain, I think. Alright, I think, yeah, I'm liking the first page, happy with that. So let's move inside and see what we want in here. So I'll have to take this out, and we need to put some paper inside this pocket and inside this pocket, don't we? And of course the journal card has slid again. I need to sort that out. Well, I will when I finish making it. I might just mark the journal cards that go where. So this one I've already done, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'll make this number 1, and I had a pencil. Oh, well, I think it was here. So this is going to be number 1. Just going to make sure, no, that's the front. So I'm going to mark that because that's going to get covered, but I won't cover the backs because they don't need it. And this is thick enough not to need any further backing. So that's number 1 on the front page. And I'm going to make, this one is number 3, this one is going to be number 2. Just check there's no black on the other side. Is that a better side? Okay, it's going to be that way around. Number 2, number 3. These two are obvious. 4. This one here, because of my of gluing this end of this pocket kind of to about there. That's as far in as I can get my journal card to go, because it acts as a bit of a stopper, which is fine. I had thought it would go all the way in, but it doesn't, and it's fine. It doesn't need to, it just goes that far. 5, and then we'll go, these may not all stay as big as this. 6, should check the other side. No, this is the front. 7, let's check that this hasn't got anything on the other side. No, that's fine. Okay. So there are 7 journal cards to make, or to decorate. Have I done this one? No, this is going to be, it'll have to be 8, won't it? I think it's pretty obvious where this one goes. Yep. I think it should goes like that. Not quite sure which way it should be oriented. I think actually it should be oriented this way. And I will put in the numbers on the side that needs to be the front. And I think this is the front, because this is where the envelope is. So it goes there, like that. Okay, so taking those out now. I want a piece of paper to go in here. I'm wondering whether to use the same again, because it was quite a nice general pattern. Autumn scraps, this is the folder I'm mainly drawing from, although I'm making scraps as I go, because I'm using whole pieces of, certainly of the autumn florals kit. So I thought maybe some of this again would be quite nice in there. Well, I have got, no, there is this paper which is also very nice, nice neutral. Maybe I should go with a neutral on this page. It needs to be pretty well all the way down, doesn't it? And how far in? About there. Right, I think I'm going to use the same one for both of the window pockets. I always do this, I can never see my mark. Yes, there it is. It was where I thought it was, but doubted myself. Okay, and then we'll do the other piece. This one. And that will go, how far down? It doesn't have to go all the way down. so there's 2 pockets are now. I've got liners. Good, good, good. Pin. Right, so I'm wondering if to kind of collage around so that you can almost not see where the beginning and end of the pockets are. Let's see what piece of this floral kit I could use here. This is a nice one. So I'm thinking I'll put a piece along there and down here. Here's the middle. So when Nancy was making, she strongly suggested not putting paper across the middle, just going up to the middle. I think that's what I'm going to do, which means it needs a bit more inking. Just to disguise the edge. I'm just going to, it's collaging around the windows are the trickiest part really. So I'm just going to tear that down. I'd quite like to go there. Or shall I do that? Shall I do the pocket with that and go round it with something else? Maybe that's what I need to do. Do the pocket. Yeah. I like it on the pocket. I may not be able to cover the whole pocket because of the window. I could go around some of it. In fact, I could go right down to the top of this window, couldn't I? Yes, I think I could do that. Need to straighten this up a little bit. This is my downfall every time. Trying to tear straight. Just can't do it. Okay. So if I was to tear that like that, Do a bit more of the brown, I think, along this edge. It's just a bit more yellowy looking, this green, than I wanted. It's not a warm enough colour. There's something a bit acidy about this, what's it called? Forest moss. I wanted a bit more green or a bit browner or something, I don't know. Not keen on it. Not all over like this, but you're not seeing very much of it. So I want to I'm going to, this isn't straight either. Of course it's not. If I can get that about straight there, then I will tear this off on the edge of this pocket here. Is that about right? Yes. Come on, tear straight for mummy. Come on. That's it. Okay. Now we've got to tear around the, oh, I'm going to lose my lovely flower. Okay, so I'm going to tear along this fold, which is the top of the pocket. But not all the way, keeping an eye on how far across I need to go. Let's just hold that there, tear that to about there. Don't know if I'll be able to see that, but I'll keep looking. See where my little mark is? Nearly there? Nearly there. There. Alright. So, put that there. So now I need to tear down a little way. Just a little bit further. Okay. Put that there. Hold that back to there. And then we'll mark that there. And we'll tear that out. So we've torn out the window. So that's going to go like that and down to there, and then I think we'll just have something going around here. I've just got to decide, am I going to patch that or have something down there as a bit of a contrast? I think that's what I'll do, rather than making it look as though I'm filling in a spot. Make it look deliberate and intentional and have something along that edge. Good. Good, good. Where's my little scraper? Okay. So I just need to put a piece around here. I've got to find something different. This piece would work. Let's see what else I could find that might fit and also would work there. I've got this, which is also from the Autumn Wonder by Autumn Wonder, yeah, by Just Digital Pages. Can't speak. Just Digital Paper. Same kit as this one that I love. I also like this one a lot. Would go quite well. Is it a bit too similar in colour? Or do I want something that's a bit lighter as a contrast? I do have some of my William Morris papers, but I'm not sure that's a bit too yellow there. And I don't think I've got any other pieces big enough. Not for there. It'll go somewhere, I'll use it somewhere, but I want a piece that will go all the way around. So I think I might just use this. I've got to work out which is the right way up. I think that is. So I will just tear the edges. Right, so that is going to go as far across as about here. Just take that. Go right to the top there, and it will be torn across the top of the pocket, and I don't want it to go any further than that. So let's do that. Let's take this bit off. Or maybe I'll take it. No. Decided not going to go across any further than that, or down any further than that. Might go as far. And then we've got to tear this here. See how far we need to take it. I've taken it a bit low there, but I've gone far enough across. I could probably have. Let's see if that's even straight. Let's have a look, see how that fits on here. Put that up. I think it needs to come along a little bit further. Yeah, I think that would work. Right, let's ink. I'm going to rub off that mark I've made. Ink it and glue it. And then I think that might be all we can manage today. No. Where are you, glue? There's always somewhere that just needs a little extra glue, isn't there? So I think we'll call it a day for today. This is going to need to be trimmed a little bit here because it's not quite lane straight, but that's fine. And I will put a strip down here, and I may take it over the edge just to cover up these edges. But I'll do that off camera, and then next week we can start working on the rest. I'm not going to do an awful lot off camera, but I've just finish off this little strip here, but I'll probably do one strip down here, so you can't really see where the beginning and edges of all the pockets are. But I think I'm pretty happy with how that's going. These things are never completely straightforward, but I like in the colours. I like the lovely warm colours. I do like the front of the cover, and I'll show you what's going to go in this pocket, because she is my favourite image in the kit. So we've got this lovely fairy, and I've just put her on this journal card, and she's just been drying. She's going to pop in there. Just bring it down a little bit. She's going in. So she's there in my pocket. I think she's lovely. And then I'm thinking on the front I might put another fairy here. That's what I'm thinking, with some leaves and things. Something like that. I'll use that. Not quite sure yet, but we'll do something like that. So that's it. That's my video for today. I hope this is looking better now than when I was fumbling around trying to put this thing together. But I think it will be a nice thing to have when it's done. I think it will look quite good when it's finished. I hope it will. And yeah, please do join me again soon. even if you don't give up on this project. Stick with me for the other projects because they're going really well. And I'll see you then. Bye for now.